with me to be engaged in the organization or the company that I was working in. And now as an entrepreneur, being able to have a mentor is so helpful, because it's like, as I'm setting these goals and setting these standards, it's just like, hey, you got to get it done. You have to make sure that, you're following XYZ. Is this a realistic goal? Is this not a realistic goal? So really having that realistic check for me too, as well, has been so extremely helpful.
It's season 7 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat with Anna and Selena. Selena is the owner of Howley Socially Inspired. She's our Hawaiian rock star who loves all things tech and says coffee is her love language. Anna owns Nomad About. She's the adventure-seeking copywriter who loves a good road trip and has a passion for supporting military spouses and entrepreneurs. Join Anna and Selena weekly to listen in on hot topics that will build your brand, keep you current with best practices, and help you grow as a business owner or entrepreneur.
Do you have a mentor? Guest LaPora Lindsey, speaker, coach, and author, is joining us today to chat about how mentoring can make a difference. We'll touch on reaching goals, career success, leveraging your experience, being influential, and more during today's 15-ish minute coffee chat.
Hello, friend. Welcome to season 7.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are so excited. We're excited for today's guests. I guess I'm going to bring up our call to action question that we love to ask at the beginning of the show, because we want you to throw in your answers. Do you have a mentor? Do you? I think yes. Right, John? What a snappy intro. Look, we want to say a quick thank you to John. That was John Larson's voice that kind of did that ending part of our new season 7 video. So hearts. I mean, I don't know who you know, John, but I mean, I'm glad you got the gig,
Right. Yes. So today's show is going to be awesome. We're going to be talking about mentorship, and LaPora immediately came to mind for both Selena and I when we started talking about having this as a topic.
Yeah.
And we're super excited to have her join us today.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. You want to tell us about LaPora, Selena?
Yes. Okay. I love LaPora. And I think one of the things I told her after I met her is I said it in a LinkedIn comment. And I was like, oh gosh, please don't think I'm creepy, but I love your voice. It's so soothing. And she's like, okay, thank you. I mean, anyway, she was fantastic. So, okay, on to LaPora's bio. LaPora, once a professional job seeker. As a military spouse with 6 moves in 12 years, LaPora has effectively started and maintained a meaningful career. She has now turned her job search experience into actionable courses and one-on-one coaching. These courses help individuals build self-confidence and self-worth as they search for the right job. As a motivational speaker and coach, LaPora educates others on setting intentional goals to define their version of success. Okay, Anna. I mean, right? Let's just bring her on.
Yeah, let's bring her on and let's start the conversation with her, right?
Yes. Totally. Okay. All you, Anna. All you.
Here she comes.
Hi, LaPora.
Hi. I'm sorry.
You're like, that was a lot of excitement, right, LaPora?
It was a lot of excitement. I'm just soaking it in.
I know. I mean, when you have a motivational speaker, you want to, I don't know, right? I feel like you got to put more energy into the bio read.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I just want to back up for a minute to your actual bio. Okay, first of all, 6 moves in 12 years is all on its own. Like that's a huge amount of moving. I mean, we're all military spouses, right? So we get like that PCS, but man, that's a lot of moves.
It is a lot of moves, a lot of changes, a lot of crying, a lot of like everything, just all of it.
Yeah. I've only done 3 and I've cried each time, So, hey, Leslie, welcome to the show. Thanks for dropping by.
I love your voice too.
I know.
I guess I got to speak differently. I don't want to put people to sleep.
No, it's a relaxation thing. Like, yes, I'm in the Zen. I'm going to listen. Like, it's hypnotic,
Right. Exactly.
So, okay. Well, real fast, before we begin our questions, let's do our coffee cup selfie with LaPora. Season 7, episode 1. Thank you for starting our show this season.
Oh, yes, glad to be
here.
here.
Know. Very exciting.
So, I love it.
It's the lighting.
Ready for the Halloweens. All right, guys, on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, there we go. We've got it out of the way. Now we can get into the nitty gritty of like the questions we want to ask LaPora. So go ahead, Anna. Get in there.
So we, like we said, we're talking about mentorship today. So the first question that we have for LaPora is, how does mentorship influence your career success? And you, in your bio, it talks about moving 12 times, and it's hard to maintain career success and professional level when you're moving every 2 years. Like, that's crazy. Absolutely. So how has mentorship influenced your career success?
In different ways. And I've mentioned this before, as far as I've had a lot of mentors, but they just kind of like disappeared at some point. So honestly, when I did have them, aside from the one that I have now, which is absolutely amazing, but when I had them, it was a lot of accountability that was there. So really just being able to know that I can't just say I'm going to set a goal and get away with not putting in the work to attain it, because they're going to be like, well, LaPora, you said you were going to do XYZ. Have you done it yet? And my answer would be, no, I have not done it. So it was really helpful with that. Right. And then also helping with me to be engaged in the organization or the company that I was working in. And now as an entrepreneur, being able to have a mentor is so helpful, because it's like, as I'm setting these goals and setting these standards, it's just like, hey, you got to get it done. You have to make sure that, you're following XYZ. Is this a realistic goal? Is this not a realistic goal? So really having that realistic check for me too, as well, has been so extremely helpful. And I will say that the success doesn't come automatically. It's not as if, oh, you have a mentor. Oh, this is what success looks like, because it just doesn't happen that way. Like, there's that time that needs to be, time has to be put into place there. You also have to consider the effort that it takes for you as a mentee or a protege to be able to put in the work and put in the effort. Like, as great as a mentor is, it is a collaborative effort, and it is a reciprocal type of relationship. And that was one thing that I was not aware of previous to a couple years, maybe past a couple years ago, that I just wasn't aware of, that as a mentee and a protege, like, it's not just me listening to the advice from the mentor, but it's me taking it in and me putting in that work and that effort to ensure that the relationship stays alive, and that also that I'm working on the things that we talked about. And I know that was a long answer, but
no, I was like, yes. I just want to say this too, right? And how you said sometimes, like, the first couple that you had they were not doing it for you. And I think that's important for everybody to realize, is just because you get one doesn't mean it's going to work, and recognize when it doesn't work and say, hey, you know what, this is not fitting my goals, and maybe let's just part ways, and I wish you well. Because some people think maybe this is how it's supposed to go, right? Like, this is how this mentorship. I love how you said collaborative, because that's so important.
I was just going to say that, like, when one of the things that really caught my attention about what you said is, you said they would tell you something and then you would take it in. And I think that that's so important, because your mentor is not there to they're not your boss, right? They're not saying, here's how your business needs to go. Here's what you need to be doing. They're there to help guide you, bring up things that maybe you haven't thought about, talk about, parts of your entrepreneurship journey that maybe you aren't super familiar with. I know when I had a mentor, like, every time I talked to her, my mind would go about something new, where I was like, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. She's been doing this for 20 years and I'd only been doing it for 2. So it makes sense why I was getting my mind blown. And she's like, you should really know this now.
Right. No, I absolutely love my mentor, and I think she's perfectly paired for what I need. Like, it's all blows, and I receive it. Not all blows, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's not kid handling me. She like literally asked me these questions, and I'm like, oh gosh, like, she wants me to succeed. So anyway, I always look forward to, like, my mind is always blown. I'm like, oh, she called me out of my stuff. I need to like make sure I'm there, you know? So hi, mentor, if you're watching.
And I just want to say too, there is definitely a level of respect when you find the right mentor where you don't want to disappoint them. So there really is a motivation to follow through on kind of the topics that you and your mentor are working on together, because you don't want to have to come back a month later or whatever your time frame is for meeting with them and be like, yeah, I did nothing. I didn't follow through on anything.
Gosh, the feeling of guilt.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm wasting your time. I'm so sorry.
I know. And you know what, though? Every time okay, there's these books here. Like, they're not there just to be pretty. I really did, like, get them to read, and I just haven't had the time. And so that was one of the goals that me and my mentor talked about. It's just like, they're all business books, and I want to dive into them. And I laughed. I said, I didn't even read one, and I'm so sorry. She goes, don't say sorry to me. You know, it's your growth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what you need to do. And I was like, oh, she says it again. She does it, you know? So anyway, okay, we could go on and on about this question. But so let's move on to the next question for LaPora, Anna.
Yes. Okay. So LaPora, our second question for you. Well, I'm going to preface this really quick.
Yeah.
When LaPora submitted her form to us kind of about some of the things she was really interested in bringing up, one of the things she talked about was she used the words unofficial mentor. And Selena and I both, we both loved that term, unofficial mentor, because I think anyone who's an entrepreneur, anyone that's ever worked, period, at some point has had an unofficial mentor. So this question specifically speaks to that term that you use, which is, how has an unofficial mentor been influential in your career success?
Oh gosh, like very. And here's the thing. So y'all might think this is kind of silly. So, when was it? A couple of weeks ago, I know we were talking about leadership and the different leadership styles, and one of them being a pace setter. So what I didn't share then, but I will share now, is that, when I worked for different companies and organizations, within 60 days, I would always identify what I call my pace setter, right? And this is without me even knowing that leadership, that was a style of leadership, but it would be a pace setter. And the pace setter would be someone who I really admired, like how they carry themselves in the workplace. I admired like their values, or how they were how they had that value, the truth in their values, how they handled themselves, the accomplishments that they were making. And I would look and I'd be like, I think that this is how I want to be at this particular company or organization. I could definitely see myself there. So what I would do, and this is what I do now, even as an entrepreneur, is I would just start having just general conversations, just getting to know them, kind of doing like these informal informational interviews, because we're already working in the same place. So it's just at that point, just finding out, how they got started in their field, and maybe if I can help them with a task here or there, and really just being able to figure out how they got to that point and what drives them. And then I would start taking notes, and I do this even now. I take those notes, I write it down, and I say, okay, so this is what they did in order to achieve that. Well, I don't have that. So let me see if maybe I can substitute. So basically I have like all of these formulas going on through my head as I'm getting to know this person. The person doesn't know that they're my pace setter, which is kind of weird. But the reason I don't tell them is because I don't want to throw off their pacing. Like, I want them to keep doing what they're doing in the natural, organic environment. But throughout this time, I'm asking them questions. They're providing me with advice. And then, unbeknown to them, they are my mentor. Because I'm asking them questions about, the steps that they should take, or what do they think about this, or what do they think about that. And then when I left previous companies or organizations, I would tell them, like, this is who you were to me, which is always nice. And I plan to do the same. Once I get to a certain point in my business, I plan to say, I appreciate all the advice that you've given me. Just so you know, you were my mentor. You're my unofficial mentor. And I think that it's really valuable because sometimes it could put pressure on certain people. I don't know, when it comes to being in the role of, okay, you are my mentor. But if you can just see people in their like organically operating however they operate and they provide that advice without the pressure of, oh my gosh, I don't want to let this person down. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But just being able to provide that information, I think is really valuable. And then that way you're able to watch them without them knowing that someone is watching. And so that way you're getting a full scope of how your mentor operates versus just seeing perhaps just a limited version if it's more of a formal relationship. So that's that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'll let you go first, Anna, before I like vomit out some like agreements of words that I want to say.
Well, the first thing was I loved how you said that you unintentionally would find someone that became your pace setter. And I feel like that is something that we just naturally do because people are just naturally better at some things than others, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are people that I look at and think, oh, I want to be like her or him in this area. Oh, I want to be like them in that area. And to be able to like just incorporate some of those best practices that you see them doing. But I love that you would like unintentionally do that, and then that would set your pace as an employee or as you know in your own personal goal setting to try and meet the standards of that person. I loved that idea behind that, and that was a different way for me of thinking about an unofficial mentor. Like in my head I'm like, yeah, somebody you go to for advice, but really it's kind of watching and learning even from afar. They become an unofficial mentor.
Okay, so here's where I went with it, right? And I loved that you say you don't tell them because it will change. I think if you like the wildlife photographer that like stealthily kind of goes in to watch them in their natural environment. Is that not true, LaPora?
Yes, that's true.
Right?
You got it.
Because if I'm the photographer and I'm just standing in the middle of their grazing, they're not going to come around naturally. Their behavior does change. And I love that you like, you know, you watch them because you want to take in what attracted you to them in the first place. Right. So right. I love that. I just, it's me. I always think like that, but I mean, seriously, like it, yeah. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I got left, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. So because we have a little bit of extra time, I really want to throw out a follow-up question to LaPora if we can. Is that all right? All right. So just kidding. So the follow-up question is, when do you know that you are able to swap from being that mentee to becoming a mentor? Mm-hmm. You know, unofficially, maybe it's happening and we just don't know it. Right. There might be people going, oh, wow, you know, look at what LaPora has been able to do with her life. That's amazing. You know, that kind of a thing. But there's a point where I think you get in your career or in your profession where you think to yourself, I'm ready to impart knowledge to other people. So can you talk a little bit about what that time frame is and like, you know, kind of what that process looks like?
Right. So, you know, with that question, can I just be honest and say, I don't know.
You totally can.
Okay, I was gonna say, but no, I can go into like, I can give my own personal like opinion, of course.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so with that, I would say that if I had to choose something, I would think that it would be based off of once you've mastered a skill, and I use mastered very loosely because what is mastered really?
Right.
But once you've mastered a skill and you are fully aware of the steps that you took in order to get to that point, and you're aware of the avenues, and you're confident in your decisions, whether they led to you moving forward or perhaps it caused the delay, whatever the case may be. But once you're confident in that, I think that at that point, you can graduate from a mentee to a mentor. Mm-hmm. I mean, like research says that, you know, ideally a mentor should be someone who is, I think it's like 3 to 8 years older than you in the same field, right? But there are going to be times, at least for me, where my mentor is younger than me, which is weird, but they are, because of where they are in their with their business is further along than mine, or it's like, I don't know how in the world you did that in X amount of time, but I want to do that.
Yeah.
and they are confident in their decisions that they made. And so for me, that's what I would say is when you graduated is when you're like, regardless of how you've gotten there, but you know that each and every one of those situations and those circumstances have brought you to this moment, and you're confident that this is where you should be, and you remember the steps, because you can't really, mentor someone if you don't remember how you got there. So remembering those steps is also important.
They're like, how do you do that? I have no clue.
I just landed there, and you just close your eyes and run toward it. And when you smack into the wall, you know you've made it.
Yeah, I don't need them mentoring me if that's what I have to do.
I want to just a question to this question, but like, I was reading somewhere too, like, as you grow in your business, right? Like you can become a mentor, as well as still continuing to be a mentee with maybe somebody that is like in another level of where they are in their business. Cause now you're growing, your mentor changes, right? So like, yes. I feel like that is something we do as we progress through our stage in our entrepreneurial life, is wanting to help others so they can get to where we are. Anyway.
No, that's good. That's good. Right? No, absolutely. Right? I think at all times you should be able to find someone that you can learn from. And if you can't, then you're, I don't know, you need to figure that out.
I was part of a LinkedIn post that kind of like was revolving around this idea. And I think the comment was, you never want to be the smartest person in the room, right? So, that's kind of the idea behind mentorship. There's always something more you can learn or improve or grow. And there's always someone who's going to be a little bit better at something than you are. So looking for those people, even if you feel like you've reached the pinnacle of where you're at, right? Of what you can do, there's always someplace new or something new that you can turn your attention to.
I think that was my post, my pencil.
That was your post. And it was Julie and I. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It was LaPora's LinkedIn.
Yay.
And it did something. Yes, I did also see that post. Yeah.
Stuck in my head because here I am bringing it up again. What, like 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later?
No.
I loved that idea that, there's always something more that you can, always something more you should be looking for. Like never stop growing in that area. So anyway, love that idea.
Can I ask you, are you mentoring anybody right now, or are you in a mentoring program? Like, are you helping anybody with the fabulousness that you are?
Well, I'm a mentor for the nonprofit organization #ICanHelp. So shout out to them. And also I'm just finding that the more I put myself out there on social media, which I was very hesitant to do. I have developed relationships and connections with other people, and I have found that it has become more so of a mentoring type of relationship. One way or the other, where either I'm the mentor or I am getting mentored. Again, I guess in a half official, half unofficial mentorship capacity. So I'm definitely doing a lot more of it, which I absolutely enjoy, but there's a lot of pressure there as well.
Of course, because you want to do them right? Like if they're like in some back alley 30 years later, you're like, that's not me. I hope it wasn't my advice that I gave you to be great. Like, I get it. Like no. And I love that you, what you said is just networking, and you have to get out there so you get those opportunities to get a mentor, be a mentor. Like, you know what I mean? Right, Heidi? I love Heidi too. LaPora is an awesome mentor for #ICanHelp. So, anyway, gosh, I get excited, and then I just, okay, Anna, what's next, Anna? What are we on?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 2 different mentoring toolkits that we want to make sure that anyone that's out here listening knows about. So Selena and I, and clearly LaPora, because she is a military spouse, but we work a lot with military spouse entrepreneurs. And
first, Anna, we got to tell everybody, LaPora, you have to tell people, because we do this now because we get so excited sometimes we forget this part. So before we move on to the toolkits and the goodbyes, LaPora, tell everybody where they can find you.
Everywhere. I am on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
Yeah.
and LaPora
I love
Lindsey
me some
on all of
TikTok.
them. I think except for Facebook, which I
Yeah.
am the LaPora Lindsey because my personal profile has already taken LaPora Lindsey. So
Right, of course, no worry. Okay, so you guys, please connect with LaPora, and if you are on Clubhouse, she's also in Clubhouse,
Clubhouse
and
too.
like,
Forgot.
you know, no, I did. Look, I took a break for like a month and a half from all social media, and I joined a Clubhouse conversation yesterday, and I was like, "Ah." But anyway, LaPora is fantastic, and she's in a bunch of rooms. So if you're in Clubhouse, go find her there too. So
Yeah.
okay, Anna, now we can move on to this part. I'll let Anna talk about it because she speaks it like more eloquently than I can.
Yeah. Okay. So what we were saying a little bit earlier was that we work a lot with military spouses and veterans and whatnot. So ACP, American Corporate Partners, offers a free mentorship program for veterans and active duty military spouses. And both myself and Selena and LaPora, I don't know, did you do an ACP?
Yes,
Okay,
I
so
have a mentor
all
now.
three
He's
of us-
wonderful. Yes.
Okay, that's fantastic. So I've
Yeah.
finished my mentorship, but my mentor and I have unofficially continued conversations. And then both Selena and LaPora are both currently in mentorship programs with ACP. So right now, I know that they are actively seeking people who want a mentor. And this process is pretty darn amazing because it is very customized. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions. They're going to really detail down to what it is that you're hoping to get out of this, and they're going to match you with just the right person. I know that when I met my mentor, this is maybe why it's like mind blown every time I talk to her. I got the exact right mentor for me.
Yeah.
So if you are a military spouse or if you are a veteran, go check out the ACP mentorship program. And I've got the link down there, and I'm going to throw it in the comments as well. But make sure you go and check that out.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, thank you to my ACP mentor. I love
Oh,
you.
look, Leslie.
Look, Leslie. We love you, Leslie. Thank you for dropping that in right there, guys. She beat Anna to the punch. So
She did beat it.
Yeah.
And if
so
you're on LinkedIn, Leslie is your ACP Connect. All right.
Yeah.
So go find her.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you everything there is to know and more about ACP.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So here's what I love, right? LaPora also has a toolkit for us. And I'm going to just let you talk about it, LaPora, because who better than yourself to talk about your own thing?
Oh, gosh. Okay, sure.
No pressure.
So, none whatsoever. So, yes. So on my site, www.laporalindsey.com, I have a freebie, which is a tool guide, which basically walks you through the step in order to get the career or start the job that's right for you. And there's 3 different steps that you can take. It's completely free. All you have to do is just put in your email to send it to, and it's all yours. And if you have any questions or concerns, I am happy to be able to answer that. I am a career coach and a professional resume writer. And so the information that I'm putting out is tried and true, and it will continue to develop and continue to grow. So grab that freebie soon because it will most likely change in the next couple of weeks.
You guys, so get it while you can. Don't say I'll do it tomorrow. Do it like now. Like, you know what I mean? Like do it like right now. So Anna is dropping the link.
Yeah. I just dropped that link right there in the chat. So you can go ahead and grab it right there and just click it and head right over to LaPora's website.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, LaPora, thank you. I'm excited. I believe I actually signed up for this the other day. So thank you for unlocking my greatness. Anna, our tip today from Caitlin Eldridge of Eldridge CPA is do your book cup. I can't even talk. I swear there's a talking here. Do your bookkeeping monthly. It prevents you from getting super overwhelmed. Yes. Can I tell you that the one expense that I love, and I say it's well worth it, is I was able to hire Caitlin, and she manages my books every month because I was horrible. I don't know about you two, but I can't do it every month by myself.
It's a struggle.
I'm just going to say
it was like every 12 months, like on tax time. Like, can you imagine trying to grab things from January of the year before?
It is definitely not fun. But listen, if you do need to do it by yourself and you're DIYing it, do it right after your mentorship session. every month. And then you'll feel motivated and inspired to get your bookkeeping done. So thank you, Caitlin, for that great tip.
You're right.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I tried. It's my weakness. It really is. All right, Anna, tell everybody.
Okay, so before we get on to where you can find Anna and Selena, I do want to pop up here that next week we have a guest, Danielle Cobo, is coming in, and she's going to be talking specifically about the LinkedIn Social Selling Index.
Ooh,
and
so
I
good.
found Danielle on LinkedIn because she posted a poll about this, and I had no idea what it actually was. So if you don't know what it is, you're going to want to tune in next week because she's going to give us kind of the rundown on what it means, what it is, and if you're looking at metrics and analytics and LinkedIn is your place to be, then this is going to be a conversation you're going to want to know about. So join us with Danielle next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central. And then of course, yes, of course, you can always find us at annaandselena.com, which preview, but we just had photos done and our website's finally going to get all splashed out and excited.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, the 15-ish minute coffee chat, you can find us on YouTube. It's always aired on our Facebook profiles. We air it on one of our 2 LinkedIn profiles. And then you can always find us also on Instagram or your favorite podcast because we upload every episode as a podcast when it's done.
Yeah.
So, LaPora, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Today.
Oh, thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. No, this was a great conversation to have as the first show for season 7. So, and I can't have thought of a greater person because you're really you're so fantastic. I love following you on TikTok. I love following you when you wherever I see you, it's that voice, girl. I'm telling you, it makes me
where's LaPora today?
Total not creepy, right, Anna?
Not at all.
Anyway, like Anna said, thank you, LaPora. Anna and I are so excited. We're excited, guys, for season 7. We have a lot of great guests on. We've actually filled season 7, and I'm just going to give this a quick little shout out. We have a Christmas extravaganza that we're preparing for. So we want you to we want everybody, our past guests, to join in. We're gonna be like Oprah. We want to just give stuff away. Seriously.
We're not giving away a vehicle.
We're not giving away a car. You get a car and you get a car. I mean, we're talking like a $5 Starbucks.
You might get a StreamYard cup.
It's our Oprah version. You know what I mean? So anyway,
our Oprah version. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So remember, catch LaPora. Her handle is right in her name bracket. It's at LaPora Lindsey. You can find her everywhere. Anna, love you tons. See you next week.
Thanks everyone for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.